So this journal you have seen before. I love this little book, and it's starting to kind of fill up. I have a couple of pages left, but it's not much actually. And I've been quite good in kind of making the book stronger by adding collage papers over the spine of the pages that I've been working on. But in some places I haven't. So I will show you. It's kind of falling apart a bit. And here I've been really good at putting collage papers over the pages. But over here it's actually totally broken and totally open. Which I kind of like actually. I like to see the middle of the book and all these pages and the inside. I think it's quite cool. But I will actually fix this part of the book because it has broken in the middle of a face as well. And I will talk a little bit about different ways to actually fix pages in your art journals. So what I do kind of to prevent this happening, I very often, almost always, start with collage when I work in my old books. So if I would start a page here, for example, I would start with putting collage papers over the middle of the book. So that's how I kind of prevent this to happen. So if I would start on this page, I would have it together and I would put collage papers over the middle like this. And that together with the matte medium will keep the book together quite well. And in some places I haven't. And this is one of the places. Here I haven't put collage papers over the middle, I don't think, or it has broken because it has not been strong enough maybe. And this page or this part of the page has come loose completely. So it has broken also here where I have not even worked with it. When pages break and when they start breaking a little bit, I usually go in and kind of put a collage paper somewhere over the middle. I might even kind of put it over some of the features in the book. So keep the book together as you want it, and then put a collage piece over and let it dry. And then start to paint on top of as well, or again. And you can put something over the whole middle, or you can just put one at the top and one at the bottom and keep it together that way. So that's a way that I quite often do. I kind of put some more collage on top of it. You can use a tape as well and just tape it together. And use a tape that is clear to very easily just kind of pop something in. But I don't really like clear tape in my art journals, but absolutely that's a way you can do it. I was going to do another thing here now, and that's something that I've done a couple of times as well before. And I think it's easy and it works really well, and it keeps it together because this book is kind of breaking in several places. And it might break again somewhere, but a lot of the pages are very sturdy as well. So it kind of has these very sturdy pages and then some pages that are breaking. So what I will do actually, it's almost breaking here as well. So I will actually take this part of the book out. This part of the book keeps together quite well because here I have been more thorough in my collage over the middle of the book. Here it might break later on. So here I have to put something in. But this part of the book is kind of good. This part that had already fallen out is also quite good. This part is all kind of glued together well with collage papers. So I will actually work with the book without these pages in. I will put this together in a way so that I, after that, can glue these pieces in. So I will glue these pages together that had that was broken. So I will glue these two pages together, and I will glue these two pages together like that. So I'll show you what I'll do. So what I'll do, I'll put these together so that there is some space in between the pages that are left here. And this space between here should be as big as the bunch of pages together that will go in between. And it doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you can kind of stretch it and move it a bit. But approximately that kind of thickness in between here. And then I will just tape these together very easily. I will use some masking tape, and I will just do like this. This is not a perfect way. It's not the kind of might not last forever either. The book might break somewhere else, because these pages are now sticking together in a stronger way than they do somewhere else. It's always the kind of weakest link that break, as in anything. But then I'll go in and I'll fix it again. I'll try this, see if this is a good kind of size. So I tape them together with a bit of space in between, so that these pages kind of fit in here. And then I'll glue this one to this side here. Like this. Matte medium. Very simple. And if you want to use plastic in between your pages so they don't stick, you can do that. I will actually glue these two together as well. Like that. And here I don't want any glue. And as you know by now, I'm kind of not super careful. My pages get stuck and they get... So I'll put this in here. And I'll put this in here. This. I forgot one thing. I have to tape these two together as well, of course. That was good. Otherwise it hadn't really worked. Of course, these two has to be taped together as well, so I get these. Otherwise it will just be the same thing again. I'll tape my two pages that were loose together. And it won't be perfect. It will be some space in between them as well, but it will not open up totally. So there we go. So it should be, of course, Where is my page that had broken? Here. So they should be kind of taped together, so not a big gap. Put one more here. Okay. Let's see again. Yeah. There will be a little bit of a gap there, but that I can live with. And then I'll glue these in here. So let's put some more glue here now. So I taped the book together to make it sturdier, and I taped my pages that had fallen apart together. And I do this, put this one in, like that. And this one. And you can tape here as well. You can actually put these together and tape first if you want. This glue is quite strong actually, so usually I don't do that. Like this. And I put these together. Cool. Here is the... And then you can put this in pressure for a little while. You just put something heavy on top of the book for a little while. Maybe 10 minutes or something, and then you can open it up so that it's open so the pages don't glue together. But I will not put that pressure on now because I will do the next step as well. But I should, or if you do this, it's good to kind of press these pages together for a little while so that they kind of stick properly. But I will do the next step here. So now these are keeping together with the tape, as you can see here. And the tape and the glued pages, which are here. And now I will put some collage over here to kind of cover this a bit. But this collage doesn't have to hold it together. So if I would only do collage on this page, then I would need to do kind of a really big one over the whole thing and kind of a thicker page. Now the tape is holding it together, and I can just play with some, I will play with some cool paper that I really like, but that is kind of fragile in itself because this is really old paper. So the paper doesn't have to hold it together. So I will actually put some collage pieces over the middle here now, like this, to play with. This. And if I would do this not on the video and not live here, I would let the other pages dry for a little while before doing this. Here we go. This paper is from an old newspaper from the 1941, I think this one is from. I love this paper. It's really, really fragile. And I love the color and I love the print because it is really kind of old print. And I love it, but it's not very strong paper. So to use this paper on this page, I really need to make the joint here stronger with the tape. So let's put some of it up here as well. And I don't have to fix all of it. I think I will actually let it be a bit open in the middle there by the eye. Who knows? I might do something else in the next live session. Who knows? I say one thing and then I do something else after a while. That's how I usually kind of work in my journals. I'm never finished. Something happens and you have to continue. Cool. Let's put this paper somewhere else as well, see if I have some more of it. Just to not get it to look so on its own. Put some here. And then I can paint on this as well, as we do. To integrate it a bit. I'll do that as well. And that this one is breaking now doesn't really matter because the sturdiness is from the tape later on. So this will kind of just sit here. It's not to hold it together. Let's put a little one down here as well. Over that purple. Cool. And then as always, when you work with your book and glue pages together, you kind of have to flick through the pages to make sure that you don't have glue somewhere where you don't want the glue. So kind of check your pages and see that there is kind of nothing glued together that shouldn't be glued together. And that it is glued together wherever you want it to be glued together. So this should be glued like that. So it's a little bit of a kind of, I have to give some love to your book. And I know that a lot of artists really kind of prepare their books before they start painting in them. So you have a really sturdy art journal with pages that all keep together. It's just not the way I work. And both from the point of view that I don't have the patience to prepare the book before I start, and also that the book breaks and kind of is not looking perfect at all is so much my art process and the way I work to not get stuck. So if I would have an art journal, even if it was a junk journal and repurposed book, if it would have all the pages already fixed and done, and I wouldn't be able to relax in the way that I do. I think that these pages, we'll go over them one more time before we end. I will just put a little bit of paint on top of this as well to kind of finish. Okay. So I will use a color that I use quite a lot when I work with my old pages, and I will mix it together here. And what it is I'm using white, like titanium white, and then a yellow oxide. And you have probably seen me mix these two before. I have an old palette here. And these two colors, or the mix of these two, is what I love using in my art. So titanium white and some yellow oxide. And this color becomes the color that I also have, that I buy. That's called, in the brand that I use and love, and you probably have heard me talk about, is the ivory white that I'm using a lot. It's titanium white, oxide yellow, and I love this tint of white. So I'll put that on here with my palette knife, just a little bit, to integrate these pieces here. And I use my palette knife very flat. Cool. Let's check these pages again. Not glued together. This is glued together. Good. Should be. And then we have a page here. Which is glued together. Now we've got a really kind of chunky, cool page there. Oh, I have some pages here that I really want to kind of go back to and work with. And this is something you have to kind of bend the pages and flick the pages, or kind of press and push, so you can actually use the book as well. That's important. It's so you don't glue it in a way that you can't use it. You need to be able to open it up properly. Like that. And now we need to get back to the face, because now I've pressed it together. Let's see where it is. Somewhere here. Here we go. Perfect. Cool. That's really cool. Love that. Love the look of it. I love the feel of it, and I still have that eye still there. If I had fixed this page from this side, maybe I had to cover this, but by doing this from the inside and gluing the pages together, I could keep her a bit in her shape, or in to see her. So next step, which is extremely important when you have been gluing pages together, is to pull them apart and put stuff in between, and put your book in a good kind of position so that the pages open as you want them to open. Because otherwise it will be glued together in a way that maybe you can't open the pages properly, which is no good. And if you come back and you can't, doesn't really matter either, because what happens is that you have to open it up, it might break, and you get something else to work with. So don't worry if you have put it up and you can't open it up as you wanted when you come back, because that's just the way it is then. That's just another kind of challenge and fun session of kind of getting the book open and pull the pages apart and see what happens. Maybe you get a page where you get just half the page kind of working. I should actually put something. This is the page with the actual face, and I want this to be pushed in as far as possible so it doesn't kind of open up too much when it's dry. So I will push this page in a little bit and actually put another little piece under here like that. Now it's pushed in more. So look at where you have the glue and what you want that glue to kind of hold. And if there is somewhere you absolutely don't want it to get stuck, make sure you put that thing in between. So I have a page here as well, which I don't want to stick together. So I'll just push this in, put it in between the pages. So this propping up procedure, you will find your way of doing it and find things that works for you and your book and your studio space. Cool. I will leave it like that until tomorrow probably. I will let this dry really well, and then it's always exciting to take it apart and see what is sticking and what is not. And if it's not sticking, then I can kind of redo the procedures. So there is kind of no failures here. That's a little session, a demo that I love doing these things. I love to kind of get my art journal out, and maybe I don't have the inspiration to start a page or to paint something, but I can kind of look through and fix a page or put some collage paper where I feel that it's falling apart, and that session can be an hour, it can be maybe a half an hour, it can even be 5 minutes, and I've done something and I have relaxed and kind of got my thoughts off all these daily things. I hope you get inspiration to open up your art journals and just do something little, just to kind of be creative more often and with less pressure. And I think this thing with doing things regularly and not have a lot of pressure of performing and getting a result is really a good way to get into that practice and to do more of what we love doing. Thank you everyone for being here, and talk to you later. Bye.